Welcome back to Universal Devils. I hope you guys are staying safe and doing well. And today I am joined by a very special, very excited Manchester United fan, and his name is Sam. Hi Sam, how are you?
Yes, I'm Paris. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm doing perfectly fine, and I'm pretty sure every single fan right now, when it comes to Manchester United, is extremely excited after the performance that we saw against Leeds.
Yeah, honestly, we started off so well. We started off electric, fast, strong, everything I could have asked for a first performance of the season.
Were you expecting it, but did you go into the mindset with the thought that, all right, so this is going to be an completely flowing, all attacking game?
No, honestly, it surprised us. I mean, I thought it was going to be like a 3-1 game. I thought we'd get into it a little bit as the game, played out. But it was like the minute the game started, we were on the ball. It was like I think it was the 12th minute. Pogba nearly scored a goal, and then from there we just kept going and going and going and going. So I was loving it.
And what was your reaction before the game started when the team news came out, basically?
I was, Paris. I don't like the McFred. I don't know. It works against smaller clubs, but when it comes to the big opposition, it just doesn't work. And excuse me. And when I saw McFred playing in the middle, I was like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those games. Like we need to start off strong. And the next thing you know, both of them had like really solid performances. So.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into, Sam. Like, listen, it's going to be wrong if we try to put a negative twist onto that game because, like you mentioned, that we played really well right from the start. But do you think, if you go back to the last season, we had a very similar game against Leeds? So, do you have that in the back of your head? Is that all right, amazing? It was the first game of the season, and we really played well. But there is something to keep in the back of your head that it was Leeds and this is how they play, it suits our game, so let's not get overly excited with what we saw.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course you can't get over the top, even if it wasn't Leeds. It's our first game of the season. You can't be thinking, right, we're going to 100% win now, like it's over, you hand us the trophy. No, we've still got building to do, and we've still got a lot to show. We need to show it against the big clubs, but I'm just happy that this is the way we performed in our first game. I do think we still need to prove it, and we still need to build upon this, but, I'm very happy that this is, the result that we got was the perfect way to start the season,
Could you sense a slight shift in the mentality of the players? Or was it just me, or did it actually feel like, I know I'm probably contradicting myself over here, but at the same time, did it feel like that? No, these guys are really in it this season. It just felt like it. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the Varane unveiling before the game. It just felt a little different. Did you have that thought in your head?
No, 100%. I think the way they brought out Varane with the suit, with the selfie, the video, it's almost like the Manchester United spirit, and then the fans were back. And even in our celebrations when we were scoring, we were all it just seemed like we were a team, like especially Paul Pogba and Bruno bouncing off each other. Like I really felt like, and I really feel like the players are in it to win it this year.
It's very interesting that you mentioned Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba because over the last few weeks, especially from Pogba's side, haven't you noticed that he's been putting a lot of more Manchester United related things than he usually does? It seems like he's trying to hint into something, especially with Bruno Fernandes. He's been putting out a lot of pictures, teasing fans, talking about his training, which I will put my hands up and say that is not something you see from Paul Pogba that usually.
Yeah, honestly, I think this whole Paul Pogba moving away, I don't believe it will. I believe we'll sign the contract. We know Raiola, how he pronounces his name. He's a bit of a twat. He likes to cause controversy just so he can raise his agent's wages, and I really think that's what it is. I do believe Pogba will be staying. I think he sees what's going on. Bruno even said it, I think, in the summer. He was like, I like what I'm seeing here. When we were linked with Sancho Morata, I don't know if you saw that. And every player can see what's happening. Like we are building one of the best teams in the world. Part PSG, I'd argue, we're the best team in the world. So I think Pogba will. I think we will show that this year, and I think Pogba knows that. And I think I think it was something in the contract.
You know what? I really want to back you up on that because even I feel that there is a certain change in the atmosphere, even when it comes to the fans, the players. Like something feels different. I don't know if it's because it's a new season, that's the mentality that we have as fans, but I genuinely want to believe what you're saying. And even I think that the players feel it. I think the loss against Villarreal in the final. I think that must have triggered something. I'm pretty sure it did. People talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as if he doesn't know what he's doing. But on the contrary, that man has as good an experience as anyone over the last 25, 30 years of being in Manchester United. He knows what it's about. So I genuinely want to feel that there is a certain shift coming in, even from the coaching staff's point of view, and keeping that positivity around and moving ahead. Surprisingly, we played behind the close friendly against Burnley. So, any news on that? Because from like in India, we did not know anything about it. So, did you guys have any news about that?
Well, I saw I follow obviously Man United pages, and I saw them updating stuff about the performance and stuff. And I hear we beat them 3-1. I hear that Maguire got a header. Fred got another one. Fred scored loads of goals in the minute. He's like, all the goals.
The world's coming to an end, my friend.
Yeah, no, I heard we played quite solidly in the family.
So, one thing I noticed, exactly like you, I went through some videos online, and I don't think Varane played. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that the Southampton game could be a little too early for Varane?
Yeah, I'd love to start Varane. I really would love to start Varane because I'm so excited to see him playing a red shirt. But I don't think Ollie will put him in for that reason, is because he didn't play in the friendlies and hasn't played in the pre-season, and because I feel like Lindelof did have a good game against Leeds. I think he'll be thinking of both those things. I think I'll let Varane settle in a bit more, do a bit more training, and then I think we'll see him against Wolves. I honestly don't believe that he'll change much of our lineup next game.
Yeah, I think you're completely right with that one. Firstly, I don't think there is any reason to change that lineup, especially going into a game against Southampton, which again is a very high intensity team. They like to play at a very high tempo. So we will not discuss the team right now, but I want to say that I think Varane has had what, 2 training sessions so far?
I think so, around 2.
So I don't think fans should get overly crazy if you see the team lineup coming out for Southampton and it's Lindelof starting with Maguire again. So even I would like to think that. So that's basically. Are you giving me a hint of what your team is going to be ahead? What we're going to get into?
Yeah, I'm giving you a hint. Are we saving that till later?
We're saving that for later. We're definitely saving that for later. So one thing good came out from that pre-season friendly. Why am I saying pre-season friendly? Behind closed doors friendly was that basically the people who did not start the Leeds game started that game. So I think it's a very sensible move, even from that point of view, that giving minutes to the players who've not really seen the pitch. What do you think about people like Matic and Donny van de Beek coming into the start of the season? Because they played really well in the pre-season games?
Matic is one of those players who is still class. He's still got it, but he just doesn't have the stamina anymore. Age, as you know, kind of had a toll on him, and he can't really play a full 90 minutes. For Donny's an interesting one because in my eyes, he's going to be overshadowed by Pogba and Bruno if he's trying to replace him as centre mid or cam, and I think he's going to struggle to break through into either of those two positions. If he, even at the start of the year, I think it's going to struggle.
So you know what? Even I don't understand that part, like that side of it, because Pogba is in such great form right now, and Bruno is Bruno. Then you basically have just two positions left in, not even two positions, because it just slipped my mind that Paul Pogba played on the left wing. He did not even start in the double pivot. So it's Scott McTominay and Fred who started in the double pivot. I really don't understand when it comes to Donny van de Beek, but at the same time, I feel like I think he will get his chances. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? Like, what's the point of getting him on? It's what I don't understand.
Yeah, we've signed him, and last year he barely started. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Faraz, but I swear he played a little bit at CDM for Ajax. If I'm
He
not
did.
wrong, he did.
He did.
So I'm kind of thinking, he played there for Ajax. That Ajax team that in 2018 or 2019 that got to the UCL semis. Just try him out. Just give him a couple games at CDM, or maybe during the preseason or something. Get him, and I don't know. I feel like he hasn't been given enough chance, really. I don't know.
And the best part is, every single time he's played in that double pivot, uh, he's not looked out of place. Like, he has done a decent job. It doesn't seem like he's not done a bad job. But right now, I feel it's more about what McTominay and Fred are doing rather than what Van de Beek is not doing. And probably, like I said, I don't expect him or Matic to get too much of game time before the international break, because that's when the double week games and the cup runs and all of that come into play. So maybe let's hope that they will probably get an opportunity once that kicks in. Alright, so we are actually here primarily for the Southampton game, and that's the next target that we have. That's the next game that we would like to win. And what do you think about that game?
I'm really excited about it, to be honest, especially bouncing off our last result and considering how we performed against them in one of our games last year, winning 9-0. I really feel like that if we can break through them. I really think we can go out there and we can absolutely trash them. If we perform how we played against Leeds, I believe we'll be like a 4-1 game.
No, I completely agree with you. I did not really see their game, the last game that they played against Everton, but I did check the score and I did see a bit of highlights. And they lost 3-1 away. My only fear coming into this game is I think we've seen an obvious improvement in the teams that are playing home because of the crowds coming back. And because Southampton lost their first game, it was away from home. Now they're playing home. I feel like they will have that little bit of extra edge over, and they would want to do something for the fans. So that's something that we probably have to be a little wary about. Because I feel that fans did play. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Okay, I was just going to say, no, I totally understand that. But our away form last season, when we didn't even lose a game, I don't worry about away games anymore. Because if we can perform like that away, constantly like we did last year, our only real problem is at home. And now that we've got the Stratford end back in full up.
Yeah, that's actually, I cannot argue with that. That's completely true. I think we're 2 or 3 games away from breaking the all-time away wins record, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're 2 or 3 games away.
You definitely could be right. I read something like that the other day about that.
So I think it's Southampton and Wolves. If we avoid defeat in both of these games, either we equal the record or we pass it. So that's going to be something to look forward to. And Sam, the best part about this is that they don't have Danny Ings anymore, who obviously was their prime target going on, and that's someone that we don't have to worry about. But they do still have James Ward-Prowse, who has a knack of scoring against us for some effing reason. And so I think other than that, if I go through the entire team, it's going to be energetic. And the good thing about facing Leeds in the first game probably was that we got a bit of hang of it. In terms of now going into the Southampton game, we are a little more comfortable when it comes to that. What do you think about that? Do you think that okay, now because we are getting into that point, let's just get into the predicted lineup coming from you, because a lot of the things that we're going to be discussing now is going to be related to that. So what's your predicted lineup for the game, Sam?
Honestly, mentioned earlier, I don't think it'll be much different from the lineup we saw against Leeds. Ollie will be thinking, this lineup worked, why switch it around so much? To be honest, like Greenwood will start up top, he'd a brilliant game. Pogba will start on the left, Bruno at Cam. The only change I can really actually see is Sancho coming in for James, and that's something I really want to see because I'm really excited to see Sancho. But besides that, I don't see the team changing around too much.
So the back line is going to be, according to you, the same as the Leeds game?
Yeah.
With the same...
Not unfortunately, but like...
With the same double pivot of Fred and McTominay?
Yeah, I think so.
Bro, we've gone for the same exact team.
Really?
We've gone for the same exact team. So I don't know if you guys can see it, I went through a lot of calculations in the start line. I put in Martial first, then Sancho first, then Pogba in the midfield, but then I thought about the same things. Like, he's not going to change it. He is not going to change it. The only thing that he'll change is...
He's only got a Solskjaer.
Yes, exactly. No. I was just saying that only. The only change that I see coming in is Sancho. And it makes sense because I don't think James will be effective in this game. So it actually makes sense. What do you think would be the final outcome of this game then?
The final outcome? So like score prediction?
Yeah, what do you think the scoreline would be?
Yeah, probably a 4-1 Manchester United.
4-1. 4-1 Manchester United.
Honestly, I think we'll try.
I think...
I'm getting excited. I'm really getting excited. I'm very optimistic.
No, I think it's going to be... Last time you said 3-1 when we spoke, and I said 4-1, and we ended up 5-1. So I think this time I'm going to say 2-0 to United. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I don't know why I feel that, but I feel we're going to keep a clean sheet. 1 out of the box prediction for the game.
I struggled with this for last time. An out of the box prediction.
So one craziest thing.
I said this last time, and it wasn't out of the box, but I think if you remember, I said a Paul Pogba masterclass.
Oh yes! Oh yes, you did. Oh yes, you did.
And I was right.
Yes, you did.
I think he's going to turn up again. You know, I've got a feeling about this man. I think he's going to turn up again.
What do you think he's playing for right now? Is he playing to shut his haters up? Is he playing because, you know what, I'm here to stay and I'm going to make sure that we win something this year? What do you think? What's driving him this year?
I think it's like collective of all of that. I mean, a lot of people have had an agenda against Pogba. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Graham Soundness. I don't know how you pronounce his name. But him going, oh, that's what you would expect from a £100 million player. And like, bro, like, he just has an agenda against him. And it's like with Harry Kane, he doesn't turn up to training. He's called a saint. Pogba, you know, turns up to training every single week. The people have an agenda against him, and I think that's partially the reason Pogba is performing how he's performing. He's just like, you lot can hate me, but I'm just going to keep balling.
Nah man, whatever the reason is, as long as he performs like that, even if he doesn't give us 4 assists every game like Graham shitness thinks, so it's still fine. As long as he performs nice, it's all good. So, okay, I would say that my out of the box prediction for this game would be one of the defenders will score. I feel like one of the defenders will score in this game. I've been like Harry Maguire, he's there. He's scored 1 goal in the preseason. He scored again in this behind the closed doors game. So I think I see one of the defenders scoring, and Jadon Sancho is going to have a baller of a game. Like, I just cannot wait to see him start this game, man.
Yeah, so now I can.
Bro, it'll be extremely typical of Ollie to not start him, man.
Yeah, I know, like, Sancho's got techniques. Like, I've been watching some of his, like, but I've been really, like, when I saw his side, I was like, I'm going to watch every single, like, some of like, the highlights of Sancho. And bro, this guy's got techniques. Like, he has got serious techniques.
Did you notice that against Leeds? He barely got the ball, but once or twice, once he got the ball, he just passed by like 2-3 players as if they weren't even there. And
that's what he does.
I mean, imagine we have someone like an Ahmad who does similar things. Hopefully, he's going to be going out on loan, and I think we are like coming to the end of this conversation. I think let's just take 1 minute out and talk about the players that are leaving this transfer window, because there are going to be quite a few people leaving. Is there anyone in particular that you think, you know what, all right, it's time for you to leave either on loan or permanently?
There's actually quite a lot. Andreas Pereira, obviously, he got announced to Flamingo.
Yes.
Pronounced that team. I think we should have just sold him straight. I don't ever see him coming back to Man United, like playing stuff under my lineup. Obviously Phil Jones, but obviously we've had issues with trying to sell him. The guy didn't even get on the 4th of grand, like. He's in the reserves. Is he even in the reserves anymore?
He apparently works out a lot in the gym, so he.
Great.
I think it could possibly be that he's actually one of the personal trainers for quite a few of them, considering he's been in that gym for such a long time. He'd probably be an expert by now. No man, did you see the news where it was apparently mentioned that Ollie sees him as the 5th choice centre back this season? I just laughed when I looked at that news. I laughed. I mean, imagine, it is all because of the fact that we keep giving them unreal amount of salary and no one wants to pick them up. There's a reason why Pereira is going on loan. There's a reason why no one even wants to touch Phil Jones. So I think it's our own doing, man.
It's because nobody wants to match the wages that we pay them. It's like with the whole Sanchez thing. When we tried to sell Sanchez off, like nobody wanted to buy him because they were going to have to pay like 400k a week.
I don't know. It's hopefully all of that slowly but steadily changes, even in terms of the board side of it. And I think we've reached the end of this video, Sam. This was fun. And what was your prediction again?
4-1.
4-1 to United. Okay, you're going for 4-1 to United. I'm going for 2-0 to United. Pogba to have a blinder again. And I say that one of the defenders is going to score. All right. So thank you so much, Sam, and I'll be talking to you soon. And this was fun, and let's just sit and hope for an amazing performance again from Manchester United.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Thank you so much for having me on again.
All right, man. See you.
See you later, man.